This video will basically cover creating layouts, page setup manager. We're going to go ahead and create our title border and block, and we're going to go ahead and set up how to print our templates by plotting. So the first thing you want to do is actually start a drawing from an existing template. So you will go here where it says template, you will select acad.dwt, right? And this brings us to a completely different drawing. We're going to go ahead and actually start saving this. So we're going to go up right where those little floppy disks are at. We're going to click in Save As. All right, we're going to change the file type. We're going to change it to a DWT. I am going to go ahead, and you should also place this drawing template in a safe place. So make sure you name it last name, right? Then you will say CAD 102 template, and we'll save that for you guys can use it later on. This little dialog box will appear. You can just go ahead and click OK. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start setting up your layouts. Right? If you click on these tabs down at the bottom left corner, you have a model tab and you have layout 1 and layout 2. Go ahead and click layout 1. We're going to right click. We're going to go ahead and select page setup manager. Right? Right now it says just layout 1. We're going to create a new page setup, so please select new. Name this A size. Once you finish naming it, please click OK. It brings you up to a page setup manager. Our page setup manager name is A size, right? We're going to change our plot style to monochrome. And right now we actually have to define a plotter. So for some of you guys, you may not have Adobe PDF. For some of you who actually have created the template, this is a quick workaround for your templates being a different size and you guys getting some red lines. So just go ahead and go to where it says DWG to PDF.PC3. Right now it's set up to full bleed, which means that you'll only see the edges of the page. So we can set up in a smooth transition between the school plotter and a digital PDF. We're actually going to customize a size for this. So if you click properties right next to the printer and plotter, we are going to scroll down where it says under user defined size papers, we are actually going to go ahead and click custom size. As you can see, I've already selected and started creating these custom sizes, but you can do one of two things, right? For me, I would have to edit, but I can just delete these, right? So we can start from scratch. I'm going to click add. I am going to select, we're going to start with an using one. So right now we're going to select that and see A size, right? 11 by 8.5. Actually, I like going 8.5 by 11, right? Go with the second one, click OK. This is perfect. And right now we're going to just define the margin. So every single margins, you're going to set it up to 0.125 and 0.125 and left 0.125 and right 0.125. Okay. I'm going to hit next. Here, you're just going to simply name it as A size, right? Delete the user 1. So now you know that this is the correct A size that you will need, okay? So click next. Right now it's just telling us that we're finished completing this custom sheet. Click OK. And lastly, click OK. All right. Now you have a correct A size, but now we have to change it from the paper size. We're going to change the paper size. We're going to scroll all the way down to the one that says A size. All right. We're going to click OK. Make sure it's paper size. Alrighty, one moment. Alrighty, everybody. So make sure that your paper size is set up to A size. Everything's to layout, right? You're printing 101. Your plot style is set to monochrome. Once that's complete, you can go ahead and click OK and set current. So now you actually have the proper paper size and the proper layout that we have for this one, right? The A size matches to the A size layout. We're going to go ahead and click current, hit close. Next, we're going to right click on layout number 1 and we are going to select rename. Please rename this to A size and click OK. After you've completed at least this layout, go ahead and save your template. If you ever see a little star up here, it just simply means you have not saved that file. You can save in 3 ways. One, you can hit the little hard disk on top, click save, right? That little star goes away. You can hit Control S and that'll save, or you can literally type Q save. All right, so those are the 3 different types of savings that we can do. Next, we're going to go to layout number 2. We are going to rename this. We're going to rename this to B size. All right, we're going to go again. You can either right click and select Page Setup Manager, or you can literally go to Page Setup Manager. But for now, we're just going to right click Page Setup Manager. We are going to go ahead and create new, right? We're going to name this B size and click OK, right? We are going to go ahead and select once again DWG to PDF, all right? And if this one doesn't have the correct 11 by 17, now if we preview this, there should be a border out here. We're just going to go ahead and ignore that. We're going to go ahead and continue creating a custom size, right? We're going to go again and select properties. We're going to go to custom, right? Under user defined paper size, we're going to go ahead and add. We're going to select an existing one, right? We're going to select the A and CB 11 by 17. We're going to hit next and next. And remember to change those margins to 0.125. 0.125 for the bottom, 0.125 for the left, and 0.125 for the right. After that is done, you can go ahead and select next. Next, you just have to change user 1 to B size. And go ahead and click next. Once everything's prepared, we can just go ahead and finish this out and click OK. Now, as you can see, we changed this. Go ahead and change your paper layout to the B size. See how this properly changed that for you. Make sure everything else is set up to layout. Your plot style is set to monochrome. We're going to click the OK. We're going to go ahead and select B size. Don't hit the one that has a star beside it. Go ahead and just select the one that says B size. And go ahead and click Set Current. We're going to close this out. We're going to repeat this 2 more times, but the only difference here is that we no longer have an additional layout. You can create a layout 1 or 2 ways. You can hit the little plus sign, which will go ahead and create a new layout, or you can right click on a tab and create a new layout for you, right? Next up, we're going to create a C size. We're going to go ahead and rename this real quick. Remember, C size, please, all caps. Right click, Page Setup Manager. We're going to create a new one. We're going to name it C size. Click OK. We're going to go down to DWG to PDF. We're going to go ahead and properties. And we're going to go to custom paper size. We're going to go ahead and add a new one from existing. And now we're going to look for one that says 18 by 24. If you scroll all the way down, you should see one that says 18 by 24. It is an arc C. We're going to go ahead and click next. 18 by 24, that's the right width and height that we need. Actually, we need the width to be 24. and we need the height to be 18. This way it is nice and set up as a layout, right? We're going to go ahead and hit next. We're going to define everything once again to 0.125, 0.125, 0.125, and lastly 0.125. Go ahead and click next. We're going to change this to user 1 to C size. And we're going to go ahead and hit next and finish and click OK. And now we're just going to change the paper size to that C size, right? We're going to click, oh, don't forget to change your plot style table to monochrome. Everything should be perfect. We're going to go ahead and set it current and close. One more layout that we have to go ahead and take care of, and I'm just going to click copy or move. This is another way that you can create an additional layout with current information. So I'm going to go ahead and click move or copy and bring us to this dialog box. Make sure to select create copy at the bottom, and actually I'm going to select C size. So actually let's move that to that and click OK. We're going to go ahead and rename that last one to D size. Enter. We're going to right click one last time, page setup manager. We're going to create a new one. We're going to name this D size. We're going to go ahead and now we have that information. Since we created a copy, we don't have to worry about creating a plot style, but always verify it's the correct monochrome one. Right now it's set to a C size, which was the previous one, but we're going to go ahead and create one last one. So we're going to go to properties. We are going to go to the custom, user defined, custom paper, and we're going to add one. We're going to use existing. All right, we're going to go to a D size, which is a 24 by 36. It is an arc C, arc D, there we go. 24 by 36, that is the correct one that we need. We're going to hit next. And once again, everything got flipped over, so we want the width to be 36 inches. Right, and the height, we want this to be 24. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit next. We're going to change everything to 0.125, 0.125, 0.125, and lastly 0.125. We're going to go ahead and hit next. Change the user 1 to, that's right, D size. And now we're going to go ahead and click next. And we're going to finish and click OK. Now, as you can see, this is now a layout orientation, right? It's landscape. And now we're going to click OK. And we're going to scroll down, select that D size, and we're going to set that current. All right. Now we have A, B, C, D. All right. Okay, so after we completed the layouts, now it's time to go ahead and create our title block and border. So essentially, you are going to create something that looks like this. Here's the border. The border, remember, it's going to be at 0.02, right? Title block in itself is going to be 4 by 1.75. So let's go ahead and start creating that. All right. The way you start this essentially is that you're going to start a rectangle, right? And you are going to go at the first corner. You're going to click once, go to the opposite side, and you are going to click. Make sure that once you created the border, that you go ahead and go to your layers manager. You are going to create one that says title block. Right, everything else should be fine. The next layer that you need for this particular drawing problem is a viewport layer. All right, and lastly, actually no, let's just keep these two. Make sure that your viewport layer is set to a no plot. Change the color of your viewport layer to magenta and click OK. Double click on the title block, all right, and If your rectangle or your border is selected, make sure you go ahead and change the properties of that. We are going to offset this to 0.02. So activate your offset command, which is simply just type in offset, right? And you are going to give it a distance of 0.25. Right? Enter. And we're going to delete that. We're going to go into properties, right? Select your rectangle. Another way that you can access your properties is type in property. So mine was already set in dock to my right side of my screen. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to go under geometry, global width. We're going to change this to 0.02. And now you can see that there is a thickness. Next thing you want to do is you want to go and start your first line at this corner, and you're going to go 1.75, right? And you're going to go out 4.0, and you're going to go down 1.75. This one we're going to offset to 0.25, right? Enter. Actually, no, 0.5. 0.5. Enter, and then we're going to offset again, right? 0.31. You can select it, and you can give it this offset again, 0.31, right? And you're going to keep repeating that, and hit enter. I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay, so remember this was a first. We offset this one to here, 0.50. All right, we're going to continue this, and we're going to offset the follow one to 0.31. All right, we're going to select, we're going to click, click, and click. Right click to end. Now we're going to go ahead and convert those lines into polylines. The way that you do it is you go ahead and type in pedit. Pedit just essentially is polyline edit. We're going to select this one. It prompts us, do we want to convert this one? Yes. Type in Y, enter. Now we're going ahead and select join. Select, right click to end the command. Next thing is the same way that we added that global width to the border, we are going to go ahead and add a width. So go ahead and select width. And here you can go ahead and type in 0.02. Enter. Now you hit the escape command, and that ends that. Now that we have our lines, we are going to go ahead and start creating our text. For your title here, you're going to need the course number and your instructor's name. So I'm going to go ahead and select mtext, right? I'm going to click and click, and I'm going to change this to 0.25, right? So now I'm going to type away all caps CAD 102-641. Oh, missed the 1. 4.1. I'm going to go ahead and hit tab once. C.rules. Right? I'm going to click out. Now you see that right now it's hitting our border. Just go ahead and just move it. That should be enough. Let's adjust this. And try to center this the best you can. Just go ahead and eyeball it for now. Alright. Now we got to start rolling and seeing how we add this information. So we're going to click this bottom corner. I'm actually going to go just about there. I'm going to change the text height to 0.125. Enter. And I'm going to type in name. All right. I'm going to click out. I'm going to try to center this. I'm actually going to go infer this point, this insertion point, right? And it should click right about there. Now we want to get this as center as we can. Perfect. And I'm going to move this little grip. And now I'm going to copy this on over copy, click, and I'm going to give it a little bit of breathe room, and I'm going to hit escape. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to extend this all the way out, double click to activate, and go ahead and input your name. I'm going to click out. Next, I'm going to copy these two, right? Activate my copy command. Come down to the bottom one and select once, twice, and 3 times. Okay. Right click to enter. In this one, we're going to go ahead and type in chapter, CAD, colon. That is this. And for this one, for this drawing problem, you're going to go ahead and input chapter 28 and 29. Click outside to end it. Next one is going to be drawing problem. Double click again, DWG PROB, and go ahead and click out. You can see that right now it's a little bit not reading correctly. It's okay. I'm actually going to move this guy out of the way. Perfect. And I'm just going to stretch it until it fits properly. Okay. Next, we're just going to move this slightly, get it aligned, right? And this drawing problem name, especially for this drawing one, is template. All right. Now here is where we have to go ahead and do two things. Where the original name, we're going to change this to date. Right? And I'm going to move this just a little bit here. And just as a reference, I'm going to go ahead and click here. I'm going to do a quick dim. And that should be, all right, let's move that down 2 inches apart. Nope, not even 2 inches apart. Change this to mechanical so we get a better readout. Dim. Let's go here and here. I don't like that one, but that's all right. Essentially we're going 2.6. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and activate a line command, and we're going to go right about there. I hit that center mark, and I'm going to copy these two on over. The only thing I'm going to change here is I'm going to scrunch this one down. Now I'm going to copy this, copy. And I go from this corner, and I'm going to go right here. Enter. I'm going to change the date to scale. Colon. Give this guy a bit of a breathing room. And I'm actually going to do two things. For the date, I'm going to go insert a field. And I'm going to actually delete this. And delete. And now you go ahead and type in field. Brings you to this dialog box. I'm going to go ahead and select date. And I am going to go ahead and select this one. It reads a little bit nicer. You can also select this one. It's up to you. And click OK. I'm going to give it a reference, right? An insertion point. If this doesn't work, don't worry about it, because we're going to still change the text height right here to 0.125. Right, click, and that should be nice and aligned, and it is. Okay. Next, we're going to insert another field. Actually, before we do this field, we're going to go ahead and delete this viewport. I'm going to go to Home. I'm going to change my current layer to Viewport and type in NView. It essentially stands for Model View. And it's telling us, hey, we need a model view. How do you want this? And we're just going to go and select Polyline or Polygon. And we're just going to draw an outline around. And you can type in C to close. And now we have a viewport. Okay. Continue on with your field. We're going to go ahead and type in field again. enter. And this one, we're going to go ahead and find object, or you can type in O, and it selects object. Select object again, and object type, we're going to go ahead and select object. And make sure you are selecting your viewport. Now we're going to go to custom and use custom name. Click OK. And let's see if I can infer this. Yes. And just select it once to highlight it. Change it to 0.125. Now we have the proper size. And I'm going to move this on over. Alrighty. So this now, anytime that you change your scale, right, it should update. And if it doesn't update, hit Control S to save, and it'll update that one. If this doesn't update for your date, you can always go and type in update field, right, and it should update that field. There is something wrong with my date. Enter. For some reason, it still thinks it is March. That's okay. Go ahead and hit save. And now you should be able to preview this. So if we type in plot, right, we have our style. We can preview this, and you can see that it's nice and centered. Let's go ahead and hit escape. And let's cancel. The next step is actually we're just going to copy on all of this. So you can go ahead and say copy, right? Select everything. One great thing is actually you can copy base point. And here I'm just going to give it a base point of 0, 0. Enter. You can go into your viewport, well, your B size, and you can go ahead and type in paste. And then you are going to go ahead and select paste origin, right? Undo. Paste. Paste clip, right? And here I can just go ahead and say 0, 0. Enter. So now we have that 0, 0 point, right? And lastly is we're just going to stretch this out. Simple math to stretch this out is essentially highlighting all this. Actually, I'm going to move this on over. Move. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to go right onto the edge, right? Click. Not quite what I wanted. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to select everything. Move. Click here. I'm going to go right onto the edge. We're perfect. One last thing. One more move. Click this point, and we're going to move it 0.25. Enter. So now this should be nice and centered, right? I'm going to go ahead and delete this one and stretch this out. Now remember, I grabbed these little center ones, okay? Stretch that out, click, and one more time click and say 0.25. Enter. All right, I'm going to stretch this again. I'm going to go all the way up, make sure that your ortho is on, and try to line it with that hidden line. Click, and click once and move it down, and 0.25. Okay. So now this should be properly set. I'm going to go ahead and type in plot just to see what's going on, because I'm missing some text. See right here, we forgot to move this one, so we didn't select everything at the same time. No big deal. I'm going to say undo, 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 and undo one last time. Perfect. Make sure you do a green box and just repeat everything that we just created. Save. And go ahead and plot this and preview, and everything's nice and centered. All right, cancel. We're going to keep repeating this same for the next one. So go ahead and type in copy, right? And you're going to go copy base, right? Now you're going to go to C, copy base. Make sure you give it a base point of 0.0. Enter. Go to C size, delete this old viewport. And you're going to say paste, paste clip, and you can type in 0, 0. Enter. All right. Ooh, something didn't copy on over. So if this happens, what do? Go green. So again, copy, copy base. Make sure you don't hit enter. Make sure either you type in copy base or you wait for that prompt. 0, 0, enter, C size, paste, clip, enter, 0, 0, enter, and it still did it. I'm going to go ahead and preview this, see what's going on. It's there, but it's just not showing up. Interesting. If this always happens, type in regen. It regenerates. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move this again, and I'm going to repeat the same thing that I've been doing with the previous ones, right? And I'm going to keep repeating this. Copy base, 0, 0, and desize, delete this, and paste, clip, enter, 0, 0, enter, regen, perfect. Interesting. I think what happened with this one is that when I did my layout, it wasn't proper to a 36 by 24. So I'm going to check my page setup manager. I'm going to go ahead, see it was selected just on that D size. So we're going to go here, we're going to go modify, we're going to go properties, we're going to custom paper, and we're going to select D size, 36 by 24. Okay. But it's still saying, it's because we didn't go ahead and select our D size. So click OK, yes, set current, and close. All right. So I'm just going to delete this and say paste clip. All right. 0, 0, enter, regen. I'm going to move this on over. All right. And I don't like where that base point was at, so I'm going to move. I'm going to go back to this corner. All right. And I'm going to try to, there we go. Perfect. Move again. Clip, 0.25, enter. And now I'm just going to start stretching this out again. All right, I'm going to go here as close as I can. Sorry, I double clicked on the viewport, so it wanted to just activate by itself. Okay. So last thing, just stretch your, make sure it's perpendicular. All right. And there we go. All right. Make sure it's save. And let's type in plot so we can just preview this. This is 36 by 24. Preview, and it looks nice and centered. All right. And cancel. Make sure that this is set to your title block, all text, title block, okay? Mine was not, that's why it didn't show up when I previewed it. And this is why I keep constantly telling you guys to preview your layouts, your printouts, any kind of drawings, because then you can see exactly what's going on. All right, last thing, make sure if you are doing mechanical that you change your units. So units, all right, type in units. For mechanical, it's going to be decimal, and we're going to do 0.0030. Degrees, we would say 0.02. Click OK. Right, that's set up to mechanical. For architectural, units again. Right, you change it to architectural. Make sure you're at 1/4, and everything else changes the same. For civil, you can just leave it at architectural, or you can change it to engineering, and you go to the third one. Okay. All right. Last thing, the way that I want you guys to save this file is 1, you're going to submit a DWT. 2, you're going to do a batch plot. So batch plotting essentially is all your layouts at the same time. Here it automatically loaded all open drawings, right? All right. Remove all of these guys out. Remove your model space. I'm going to do this to A size, right? Should have already everything by default, but I don't know why this parameter changed. Let's just do that. Okay. And make sure that it says PDF, right? Sheet size, don't worry about it. Let's go ahead and publish this. I am going to name this last name, right? Underscore DP1. And that should have everything selected. So I'm going to save this to somewhere where I can find it later on in the future. Yes, I do want a sheet. And I'm going to close this. And now I just wait until this is completed. You'll see down here where it says publish job in progress, right? You can always hover through that and it will give you an automatic update. Once it has completed, you should see down here a little bubble. It says plot and publish completed, right? No errors or warnings found. So I'm going to go ahead and open right where I saved that file. I'm going to open this real quick. And now you can see I have all my layouts, right? And it provided a quick sheet name and sheet view. You can see the difference in sizes. And that's it. That's it for the template aspect. The second part of the drawing problem is make sure to do a table from chapter 21. And you'll hand that in as a DWG and a PDF. All right, guys. Sorry for running a little bit long. We just had a lot of stuff to cover and recover. Hope this helps, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.